Apologies, I was wondering why nobody was joining. I forgot to hit the broadcast button, so no one literally could join. Hello, Captain Jones. Hello, BJ. Brian, good to almost see you. Hi, Alan with Groundworks. Ms. Garrison.
Hello.
The attendees are joining. We're going to give everybody just a minute to get settled. I apologize for the delay.
No problem.
Whoa.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining us this evening. It is June 18th. Welcome to the June Madisonville Community Council meeting. I'm going to apologize in advance. I know we're expecting some heavy storms this evening. I've had several of our residents tell me that power has surged, gone in and out. So if for some reason the feed gets disconnected, we'll do our best to log back in as quickly as possible and fix any technical issues. Again, thank you all for joining us. With that, I'm going to go ahead and call this meeting to order. And before we get started with any business this evening, I'm going to go ahead and for the third month in a row, go ahead and turn it over to Amanda Mahaffey to go ahead and give us a quick virtual meeting info recap of what to expect. Amanda, I'm going to go ahead and unmute you. You have the floor. Maybe.
You have been on Zoom or stream on Facebook. So I'm just going to share really quickly. Kate, when you get a second, can you let me do that? But while I can kind of talk through. If you are an attendee in the Zoom meeting, if you could, if you have a question, use the Q&A option, which should be down if you're on your computer. It should be kind of in the lower kind of ribbon bar at the bottom of your screen. I'm going to actually just go ahead and share it real quick. I should be able to. So if you have this QA option, please use that to ask questions. It helps us kind of keep track of them. You can also use your chat option that you can actually you can decide to send it to the panelists or you can send it to all of the attendees. So just make sure you're conscious of who you're sending it to, depending on what you're trying to communicate. If you've got commentary, that's fine. Definitely leave that out of the QA part so we can keep that to questions. I believe if you're a panelist, you might not have the Q&A option. So if you're a panelist and you have a question, feel free to use the chat feature. And then if you would just like to speak, you can always raise your hand. So that is also an option to do that as well. But I will be taking questions. I'll kind of be monitoring the Facebook page here. So there is, if you're on Facebook, we might kind of circle back to you once we can address your question that way. But yeah, that's pretty much it for me.
Also helps if I unmute myself. Thank you, Amanda. With that, we're going to go ahead and get the meeting started. As always, if you could all join me, I'm going to actually unmute everybody and put everyone on the spot today. Somewhere in your house, somewhere, there's probably a flag turning that direction. And if you would join me in the Pledge of Allegiance, one on my desk. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And if we could just, I'm doing it in opposite order, I apologize, just take a moment of silence. Thank you. In the documents that were previously presented, if you access the link, you will see the minutes from last month's meeting. If there are no objections, we'll go ahead and approve those minutes as presented. Unfortunately, I've not received a treasurer's report yet for this month. We will have that available next month. So we will table the approval of the May treasurer's report until the July meeting. And with that, we're going to go ahead and move to our public administration announcements. Cincinnati Fire Department is not able to join us. However, Captain Jones from the Cincinnati Police Department is here. So I'm going to go ahead and turn the floor over to you, Captain Jones. Just a second. Oh, there we go.
Can everyone hear me?
Yes.
All right. So it's been a wild unprecedented time for Cincinnati Police Department here in the last 3 weeks, 4 weeks. I personally have spent the first 2 weeks, once the civil unrest occurred, I was downtown assisting with that as part of the command staff and our responses to that. We are just now getting into a more, whatever normal is going to be, somewhat of a normal rhythm here back in District 2, being in my actual office. I can tell you that our neighborhood liaison unit officers, for the last several weeks, we've been adding some additional patrols downtown. That hopefully will be ending this week, where we don't feel like we have a need to do that. So if Al has been maybe out of the office or you haven't been able to reach him, what I can tell you is that we've been very busy. So what I can tell you about Madisonville and the stats going currently, when we look year to date, we are still seeing those reductions. We're still seeing Madisonville bucking the trend that's occurring throughout the city with a lot of our neighborhoods where we're struggling. Madisonville is still, when you look at year-to-date robberies, when you look at year-to-date aggravated assaults, I'm looking at the stats now, when you're looking at burglaries and some of these other, more violent crimes, Madisonville is doing very well. We're seeing across-the-board reductions. The only increase we're seeing in Madisonville right now are thefts. Theft from autos being the biggest increase that we're seeing. So again, very fortunate in Madisonville that you're not seeing some of the increase in violence that we're seeing in other areas. As we return more to a normal operation, we're running towards the end of our fiscal year. So the police visibility overtime that I'm able to push out officers to do, extended patrols or patrols outside of the normal shifts, we should be re-upped coming July. What that number is going to be with the budget, with the COVID and some of the other things, I don't know what the budget's going to be for District 2. But what I can tell you is Madisonville will not be forgotten in those funds and those resources. So as we move forward, whatever needs present themselves, we will be sure that we're putting those resources out there. So does anyone have any questions about what's going on in District 2, the city as a whole? There's so much going on. Some of the other communities have asked some different questions about, the culture and some of the issues that is being presented to law enforcement right now. What I can tell you is some of the demands that have been levied forth. You hear about these 8 demands or these 10 demands that are being levied on law enforcement asking for these things. What I can tell you is the Cincinnati Police Department as a whole, we've been doing most of these things for 15, 16 years. The Cincinnati Police Department has been on the forefront, the cutting edge of dealing with citizens, how we all interact, community engagement, problem solving, different things like that. We've been doing this for a decade and a half. So many of the things that are coming out that they're wanting police departments to do, rest assured that your police department, we are very skilled in this, and many times departments are coming to us to learn how to do what we do already.
I don't see any questions here on the webinar. Amanda, are there any questions online?
Nope.
All right, well, we appreciate your time, Captain. We appreciate your service.
I appreciate you all. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right.
All right. Moving on to the schools, I do not have any updates truly from CPS at this time. I think we're all anxiously chomping at the bit, waiting to hear what the school board's decision, the district's decision is going to be. On the 22nd, they are going to release the plans for this coming school year. I was recently in a focus group right before our meeting this evening, talking with other parents, talking with staff from the school, trying to figure out what worked, what didn't for the remote learning. As a parent, I am very anxious to find out what is going to happen this coming school year. We will keep everyone updated as soon as we get the information, and we'll be sure to post that from CPS as well. Terry, our branch manager from the public library, was not able to be here either this evening. They're actually busy getting ready for the reopening of our Madisonville branch. Our Madisonville branch is scheduled to reopen to the public on June the 29th. They're going to have modified hours of Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. I'm not going to hit all the highlights. I'll have Amanda share this with all the other meeting documentation. Terry just sent this to me a little bit ago. They're going to be offering an assortment of virtual programs as they've been doing throughout this pandemic shutdown. They are going to be limiting stays to no more than an hour, as well as 1 visit per day. So please plan accordingly if you're planning on coming to the library. They are going to primarily focus the services on computer and technology access, which is still going to be on a first come, first served basis. So they're going to limit the capacity of computer sessions. They're going to make sure that there's social distancing in place throughout the building, as well as in all the technology areas. We're very excited for them to be opening up. I know if you know anything about our Madisonville branch, it is a wonderful place. It's a great place for our kids throughout the summer, for our adults, for the continuing education. It's something that I know a lot of people have missed these last couple months, so we're really excited they're going to be opening back up. And I go ahead and move on very briefly, just a very quick brief president's report. We've been doing a lot of work behind the scenes these last couple of months, trying to make sure that communication is out there. Again, outstanding job to Amanda Mahaffey, our communications chair, getting the information out about the pandemic, getting the information about what's been happening within the city, within our own neighborhood. And we are really excited about the progress that we've made as a community. However, if you've paid attention to social media within the last 24 hours, I do want to touch on the fact that one of our amazing community members was bullied in the middle of a meeting yesterday evening. And when I spoke with Wendy Cross is actually running for a judgeship this fall. She was at a speaking engagement. When you attack somebody from our community, you're attacking our community, and it's not acceptable. We stand behind you, and we support you.
Thank you, Kate.
You're welcome, Wendy. We are continuing to work on the mom life. We are still continuing to work through the CBA working group process. We are literally at the tail end, shoring up some specific details, looking at some options that will benefit the community as a whole. However, I've been very disappointed the last couple of weeks because unfortunately information has been leaked and shared outside of the group, which puts the negotiation process at a disadvantage for the community. We are currently looking at legal options to put a stop to it. And this kind of goes along with what I just spoke in regards to Wendy. You're hurting the community. It needs to stop. We are cautiously optimistic that we are going to have something in front of the community in terms of the community benefits agreement in front of the city by the end of next week, in front of the community the following week, end of the month, as well as with in the hands of Ackerman Group to start that negotiation process to ensure that the community is getting the best advantage and the best that the development and that Madisonville has to offer. And again, I said this in last month's meeting, I cannot express enough how pleased and proud I am of the work that's been done by this group of people that have come together that didn't know each other, all walks of life, all different demographics, and have really pulled together, have really stepped up. And I think the community is going to be very proud of the work that they've done and the agreement that they've put together thus far. As soon as we have concrete dates, we will again have that shared, like I said, not only with the developer, with the city, on social media as well. All of our members will also get a copy as well once we get that released. Before I go any further, are there any questions, Amanda, on social media, or any questions here with the group? Okay, no, okay. And with that, we're going to go ahead and move over to committee reports. Stephanie, I'm going to go ahead and bring you up. Stephanie Myers with Myers Cable, who is our, whoops, you switched places, who is our direct chair. There you are.
Hi. Sorry, it's crazy town in my house right now. I had to run in here. Hi, everybody. I just wanted to replug for the Instagram page. We're doing giveaways weekly, every Tuesday. I'm posting that on the Instagram page and on the Facebook page. So we're giving away some really fun, cool stuff this summer. So please, if you can, share. I just want to get as many people onto this page as possible because it also just makes a lot of traffic for our Parks Department as well. And that's all I got. Thanks, Kate.
Thank you, Stephanie. I'm going to turn it back over to Amanda. She's got a quick update on the communications forefront. Amanda?
Yeah, hey guys. So yeah, you've definitely probably been seeing, if you follow us on Instagram or Facebook, you've probably been seeing our posts. We are also working with MCC to get out a newsletter this summer. So we're shooting for August. So you may hear, we are going to be doing some kind of like coloring contest. So there will be details posted online to come about that. And we're really excited to be doing this with MCC. We think it's going to be a really good opportunity for us and kind of build out a little bit more of a robust newsletter. So if you ever have any suggestions on what we could possibly feature, feel free to send me an email at communications@ourmadisonville.com.
Thank you, Amanda. And I'm going to go ahead and bring on Wendy Cross, our Crime and Safety Chair.
Good evening, everyone. I just wanted to report that we had our first coffee walk yesterday. And, well, no, yeah, was it yesterday? No, Tuesday.
Okay.
My days. Tuesday, was our very first one. It was hot, it was a little humid, but it was so beautiful. We didn't have a lot of people, but I'm hoping that word will spread and that we will have a lot more people the next time, because Madisonville is just so beautiful and the homes are so special and the culture that we have here is second to none. And so please, if you can remember, we'd like to have our next coffee walk next month on Wednesday, July 22nd at 6. Wednesday, July 22nd at 6. And more details will come about where we will start. But we started at the Bramble and Homer, the corner of Bramble and Homer. We parked there in the parking lot of the old school. And so we'll probably do that again. And we walked for an hour. It was a really good workout. And we had a good time. So I hope you come out.
Thank you, Wendy. I have education as an item here on the agenda. As we all know, education is going through some things here in the city right now with the pandemic and remote learning and missed graduations. So again, I want to extend a congratulations to all of our graduates, our sixth graders, our high schoolers. We've been delivering our baskets to our seniors this past weekend, and we'll be doing some more again this weekend. Just as a small token to say, hey, thank you, we appreciate you. Congratulations. You're an adult now, so now you can become a member of community council as well. I'm also excited to share, I have extended an offer for someone to join us as an education chair. They have tentatively accepted, so we will be approving them at next month's meeting with our board meeting. I'm very excited to bring this person on. They've been very involved in the schools thus far, and she's really looking forward to continuing the focus on education here in Madisonville, promoting our different school choice options, working to get the communication out there and making sure that our kids, all of our learners, because not just kids are learners, even our adults, bringing some adult learning here to Madisonville as well. So I'm very excited about that. So be looking for that announcement on our social media platform on the website as well here in the next 30 days. With that, I'm going to turn it over to Tess, who is our housing chair. She's going to go ahead and let us know what's going on in the housing world.
Hi, thanks, Kate. Few things, and if you have any questions related to housing and COVID, so whether you are a renter or owner and have any concerns like that, please go ahead and send an email to me with any questions you have to housing@ourmadisonville.com. We have a handful of speakers lined up for next week. We're going to record a video. I've been working with Matt Strauss at MKirk, and Kate is going to lead our panel with some questions. So we're going to go ahead and film this so that we can release it as a video. That way, if you can't join on the actual day, it just makes more sense for important information like this to be accessible at all times. So we're going to go ahead and get that out to you, hopefully end of next week, if not the beginning of the following week, just depending on when we can actually film. I also plan on putting together the bulk of the information into a kind of written form as well. That way I can try and put it at the library, at the rec center, at other businesses around town. So that way, if you cannot view it online, you still have access to all the information. So what we're looking for are what questions you have, what concerns you have, and also providing you with resources that are available to you if you are struggling at this time with housing. So that's coming very soon, and I'm very excited about that. I think it should be really helpful information that obviously can be shared with any residents of Cincinnati. So please share that with friends in the community and friends outside the community as well. After that, I've been working with a few people in the city to talk about lead and lead issues within our houses. All of us mostly have older houses in Madisonville, and so inevitably there's probably some lead, whether that's in layers and layers of paint or in your pipes. There is money available to you. There are things that you can write off on your taxes to abate that, and so that will be the July kind of video forum again, and then we'll have written format for that provided as well. So if you'd like to join me, Amanda has shared the information on our webpage. We meet the first Wednesday of every month on Zoom, and please feel free to join in the chat and help me do some planning. And if you have any concerns of your own, any questions I can answer or research for you, please reach out. Thanks.
Awesome, thank you, Tess. I appreciate it. I'm actually, with everyone's permission, I'm gonna switch real quick. TJ with Meek. TJ, are you still here? Oh, there you are. Hold on 1 second, TJ. There we go. TJ, go ahead and give your update. I know you've got to run this evening, so I'm just going to go ahead and switch so that you can go ahead and give your update right quick. Love the t-shirts.
Thank you. Meek, good evening, everyone. Meek would like to share a brief statement. Meek cares about the health and well-being of our team and neighbors. Meek has an employee who had an offsite exposure to COVID-19. To be extra cautious, we will be working remotely, monitoring the health of our team and getting a good clean of our facilities. We'll alert the public if any of our team members test positive, but at this time, this has not happened. Additionally, no neighbors had exposure to the employee that would rise to the threshold of concern. We will return on site in July. Our next food distribution date is Tuesday, July 7th. So also to touch on top of that, we do have a virtual summer camp for ages K through 8th grade, I believe. I do have distribution flyers I'd like to share with everyone in Madisonville and MCC as well. And also with our new distribution coming up on July 7th, that will be a drive-through distribution. So we will have the entrance into Meek's parking lot off of Rose Street will be blocked off. That will be an exit. So I will share that information with you as well. There's a diagram to show the flow of traffic for that. And that's all I have to share. Thank you, and everyone have a great evening.
Thanks, TJ. I appreciate it. We're going to go back to the order on the agenda. Unfortunately, Ms. Tony with NYCC is not able to be here tonight, so we'll have her written report available at a later date. I'm going to go ahead and bring our transportation chair on.
Hello all, hope everybody's being safe. So we've been working a few projects, namely trying to get a quiet zone for our neighborhood. Unfortunately, we have 3 crossings that are not upgraded to where they're supposed to be. So I've tried to get in contact with the Ohio Rail Hotline. They were running on a very light staff, skeleton crew. It's kind of hard to get in touch with anybody there. Before we can get the quiet zone put together as far as a, what's the word I'm looking for here? A proposal, we have to make sure that all the crossings are upgraded to have arms, lights, and the one on Mathis has to be repaired because somebody hit it. As far as that goes, I'm at a standstill currently because nobody's in their offices. I'm about to try to find a different avenue, see if there's somebody I can contact that will be available. As far as the train bridge is concerned, we had a number of options. Unfortunately, one of the main ones is very cost effective. It's over $100 grand, and that's with the city's help. And that's a digital sign with a sensor that will inform truck drivers that they are, in fact, too high. The other options that we kind of discussed were LED lights on the bridge itself, accompanied with a sensor, so that the bridge actually lights up to let them know that they can't go underneath there. Working on a 4-way stop at Wetzel and Chandler. There were quite a few accidents in there in the past. It's been okay so far, but it'd be better if it was actually a 4-way stop there and on, what is that, Wetzel and Row as well. Until I can get in contact with somebody at, I can't remember what's called, Poku, I believe it's called. As far as the trains issues, I can't continue on that one, but I should be able to get in contact with somebody about the street signs and the 4-way stops. That's pretty much all we got going on for that.
Thank you. Amanda, were there any questions online or were there any questions in the webinar this evening?
Nothing I can see.
All right. Thank you very much. We're going to move on to agency announcements. Kathy Garrison is here with Artsville this evening. Kathy, give me just a moment. I'll go ahead and spotlight your video. Go ahead.
Okay. Just some really quick updates with Artsville as we continue to try to reopen. We've got a lot going on in terms of the cleaning, disinfecting, etc. Wanted to bring you up to date a little bit on a couple of classes and things, we had scheduled in the mid to late July timeframe mosaic classes. I'm working with that instructor to see if she still wants to manage that. It would only be for like 10 people. So we'll see if she still wants to do that. We've also got a film camp that will begin in late July and run through the first couple of weeks in August. And that is probably no more than 15 kids. We have the space where we can keep them far enough apart that we believe it will work as well. The only issue that we're having is people signing up for the camps. We're finding that there are a lot of people who really don't want to put their kids in harm's way just yet, and we understand. So we'll kind of work as those come along as the dates get closer. We have scheduled already with Playhouse in the Park for later this fall, much later this fall, October, will be our first Off the Hill performance. And then we have 2 that'll be coming early in the spring of next year. So we are moving to bring things back on a much smaller scale until everybody kind of feels safe. So Kate, while I'm here, I'll go ahead and I'll just do the weed and seed, if you will. I just want to remind people that as we move through this COVID, that there is a lot that we don't see that's happening. I just was looking out there today trying to find some more information, but suicides certainly are up across the country due to the loss of the jobs, the people being cooped up. We're finding more domestic violence. There's also, more child abuse, and gun sales are up. So let's not forget what's happening as people are being cooped together in this time frame. We also are finding that the drug use has escalated as well. So if you find yourself needing someone to talk to, please feel free to reach out to us, or certainly you have mental health professionals, and there's also the suicide hotlines. So we just don't want to forget that those things may or may not be occurring. If you have any questions, please feel free. Just give me a call and I'd be happy to help as much as I can.
There is a question in the chat. Can Ms. Garrison prepare a comprehensive report on what Weed and Seed does for the community?
I certainly can, and I'll put that out there.
Okay. Any other questions? All right, thank you, ma'am. Quick update from the Children's Home. Jill apologized she wasn't able to attend this evening, but she did want to let everyone know that their preschool and the camp are back up and running. The day treatment groups have also resumed on the campus as well. If anybody has any questions or like to learn more about the current programs they've got going on with the Children's Home, they can reach the intake department at 513-272-2800. And with that, then I'm going to turn it over to Brian Cervisi with the, I lost my thing, with the CRC.
All right, everybody. Can everybody hear me all right? So we started our summer camp on the 8th of June. We are full. We do have a waiting list, so that's good. We are looking to incorporate STEM, art, and athletics just as activities, as well as just regular day camp stuff, coloring, group activities, and whatnot. Everything is going smooth. We hope to continue our already successful summer. And if I had wood to knock on in my car, I would, because everything's going great and we're having a great time. And tomorrow, if you guys hear any loud noises, we're going to be making rockets. So it's nothing. It's just rockets around noon. And that's about it. Thank you.
The rockets are awesome. Thank you, Brian. I do have a quick question for you, Brian.
Yep.
You're fine. In regards to a Bramble Playground in Bramble Park,
Yes.
what is the current status? I know parks have been open. Playground is officially back open and full use.
Yeah, we opened the playgrounds. Was it the 10th? I think last Wednesday.
Okay.
So basketball courts are open, both Bramble and at the rec center. Tennis courts are open, and the playground's open last Wednesday. So we've been having people. I think School of Rock's going out there tomorrow to do a little thing as well around 5.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you.
Yep.
I'm going to go ahead and switch gears over to Terry Henry, our Business Chamber President. Terry?
Yes.
Oh, there you
Can
are.
you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Our next business meeting will be virtual via Zoom on July 14th. And the start time will be 9 a.m. As of this moment, we don't have a speaker, but we are working on that. And that's pretty much all we have. Oh, the summit will be opening in July sometime.
Great. Thank you, Terry.
You're welcome.
All right, we're going to turn it over to Alicia Chamberlain with MKirk.
Good evening, everybody. The MKirk News should be up with the documents on the MCC's website, and then we will be sharing this on Facebook tomorrow. I'll have Jordan put it up. Wanted to give you some updates. The facade program is still underway. It's just moving really slow. The city staff have not all returned to work, and because of that, some of the contracts that need to be put in place and one of the systems we use to track the contractor's work that's performing work, we can't set that up right now for the contractors that haven't already been in the system. So please bear with us. We do know that several of our businesses are wanting to reopen, and this would provide them the ability to do so, or would lend to what they're wanting to do. So we are trying to expedite this as quickly as we can. The Madisonville coloring book that staff member Jordan McKittrick worked on. This was her kind of community building project through COVID. We wanted to make sure we got something out there for our kids. I think she did a great job pulling together artwork and designs that were all Madisonville kind of inspired or themed. She has these currently at Cheesecakery, Fifth Third Bank, Stylish Lanice, and at our Little Free Library. Additionally, MKirk wants to thank State Representative Bridget Kelly for the Ohio-themed coloring pages, which can also be found at the Little Free Library at the Mets House. Right now, we are working on COVID-19 recovery and neighborhood business district support. We are going to be working with the MBC to try to get some small programming support to our businesses. Hopefully by late August, we'll have some information on that. I'm trying to work on getting some funding for that as well. Right now, we do have space still available at the Mets House. I know that as we've all been working from home, some people are finding new ways to downsize their office space. So if you wanted to have a smaller space that people could access, you know, a couple days a week or in a rotating fashion, keep us in mind. We have good prices. Madison and Wetzel, the streetscape updates have been shared via Facebook. Thank you to Community Council, and I believe the Business Chamber also shared that information. We're going to keep that information up there anytime there's a change. We've been engaging in dialogue with Ackerman Group. Brian Henning and I spoke, and we talked about some different things that we could do to make sure that information is being shared with the public as this project moves forward. We still have 2 more phases to go through, and we've been listening to concerns about how we get information out, and we want to be a partner in that with them. So we'll be working on making sure we're providing the community with information in advance whenever it's possible. As far as our big news we're super excited about, MKirk would like to serve as an information hub, and we are aware that our website hasn't always been the best site to visit to get information, and it really had a lot to do with the ability to update the site, just the format we use. We are hoping for July 1st launch, but it may be delayed a little bit. Bear with us. There's a lot happening with COVID relief that's keeping our staff busy. But we are going to be having the site set up in a little bit different of a way. It's going to be easier to track our projects, find links to neighborhood organizations and resources. Jordan did a great job. She said, additionally, we want to shift our focus to the most important part of the community, which is the residents. And we're hoping to feature a storyboard, and we want to keep an ongoing updated community page to ensure everyone is heard and everyone is included. So there'll be some more to come on that, but we are listening to you and we appreciate all the feedback, and hopefully you will enjoy the new product that Jordan is working very hard on. Have a good weekend.
Thanks, Alicia. All right, moving on. We don't have any old business on the schedule. If there's no old business to be presented, I will move on to new business. I'm going to turn it over to Ohio River Valley. Alan Edwards is here. He's going to tell us a little bit about the project. I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to you.
Awesome. Can everybody hear me? Awesome. That's great. So my name is Alan Edwards. I'm the co-executive director for Groundwork Ohio River Valley. And we are the new operating partner for the Lighthouse Green Learning Station there at 5303 the corner of Ward and Chandler. And we're really excited to be here in Massville and to finally get to talk to y'all at the Community Council. I've been trying to find some time to come on the third Thursday and all that, and this month has finally worked, so we're excited about that. I just wanted to give a quick update to everyone in the community about what we're doing. We've finally had a grand opening, and you know, COVID has been, I mean, I don't need to say that, everybody knows COVID has disrupted literally everything and everyone. So I think the certificate of occupancy for the Green Learning Station was issued the first week of March. So you couldn't ask for a better timing for doing programming and whatnot. But my organization is focused on environmental restoration, environmental education, and workforce development. And we were kind of brought in to help manage that facility there and work with the school just around the corner to facilitate programming and do outreach into the community. So this is why I'm really excited to finally get to talk to everybody here at the Community Council. Originally, I think we were supposed to have Nathan Lynch from Lighthouse and Dominic Peebles from Brick Gardens, two of our really big partners who are going to be here tonight. I think they had, I know Dom had a niece he had to go pick up, so he's a little busy there, and I'm not sure where Nathan is, but I think one of the really cool things about this project is that we are partnering with so many cool, great organizations. Brick Gardens is a really great partner of ours who's helping us manage some of the community garden plots that are around the corner from the Green Learning Station. They focus on food equity, food access for communities all across Cincinnati. And the Civic Garden Center is another great one. I know that the Civic Garden Center had a community garden across Madison that unfortunately had to close. I'm not sure what happened with the property owner there and how they ended up being moved, but they are now in that garden there at the corner of Chandler and Ward. And then, yeah, those are our two big partners. And with Lighthouse moving out of the school and CPS taking over, we originally were supposed to be doing programming all spring, and clearly that didn't happen. But with Daniel Trujillo remaining as the principal of the school there and many of the teachers staying as well, we will hopefully, after June 22nd, once the CPS board decides what the school year is going to look like next year, be picking up right where we left off before everything just went crazy. So that's kind of in a nutshell what we have going on, and we're actually really excited because starting next week, we're going to be kind of like some of the other organizations that are doing summer camps and youth programs. We'll be starting to do programming out of the Garden and Green Learning Station on Wednesday next week with a group from Lighthouse, basically doing very similar work to what they've been doing in years past. So they'll be coming in and working in the gardens, and then also at the Madisonville Foraging Garden that the Civic Garden Center has some involvement with at the corner of Erie and Red Bank. And another thing that I was really excited about coming to the community council meeting was making some connections with the beautification committee or something like that to see where best we might be able to jump in and help out with community initiatives. I think that's a really important role that the Lighthouse Group has played in the past, and we're looking to just continue to run similar programming and do outreach into the community. Groundwork also has its own youth program. We have right now 2 main locations here in Madisonville and then also in Lower Price Hill where our administrative offices. We'll be running some programs out of there as well, and the youth program that'll be there will come in maybe once or twice a week to Madisonville to work in the garden and the foraging garden. And again, we want to see how best we can jump in and help out in the community. So I'm really excited to put some faces to names and get some contacts for people and kind of jump in with both feet and see how best we can, continue to make Madisonville one of the best communities in Cincinnati. I'll open up to any questions if anybody has thoughts or anything like that. I'd love to talk all night, but I also know where I'm one of the last people to go, so I don't want to take up everybody's time.
We do have a question. David, you've got a question? Go ahead with your question. Maybe. Unmute.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you now. Go ahead.
Okay. I don't know if the video's not working, but I have in front of me a great big jar of plant seeds for flowers, for vegetables, and there's 2 of them. My wife's nephew, she was asking him, he said he had a bunch of seeds that came from Lowe's. They were excess from 2019. They've been in storage. And he asked my wife if she needed some seeds, and we said yes. So we went out to visit him. We had no idea that he would give us this great big, it's almost like a giant pickle jar full of seed packets. We also have a styrofoam cooler full of packets. And my wife's come by the greenhouse area, but couldn't find anybody. But we didn't know who to give these to. We would be glad to pass them on to you guys. And if you can use them in any way, they're free for the asking.
That's awesome. We would love that. And actually, I'm really glad you reminded me. We're doing an open house this weekend. We've had one the past 2 Saturdays. So Saturday from 10 to 1:30 at the greenhouse there. We'll be there working in the garden, and Brick Gardens will be there, and myself will be there. And if anybody wants to swing by and just have a conversation or chat about what our programs are, we'll be there for those couple hours. And like I said, starting on Wednesday next week, there will be staff and kids there from 8:30 to 12:30, Monday through Thursdays. So feel free to stop by anytime during those windows, and we'll be there. I'm there every morning and every evening watering and, making sure everything's okay. So feel free to pick a time, and we'll be more than happy to.
I'll drop these off to you. I'll drop them off to you on Saturday morning then.
Perfect. That sounds awesome.
About 10:30, so around there.
Yeah, that's great. Dave, we look forward to seeing you, man.
Okay.
And actually, that's a really good point. Dave also reminded me, one of the things that our organization focuses on is environmental restoration. So we've been working with Little Duck Creek Task Force in Bramble Park to remove a bunch of the invasive species there. So like honeysuckle and winter creeper and all these other things that choke out all of the native species there. And so a lot of the work that we're doing in the greenhouse isn't just vegetables and like agriculture, it's also native plants. So it ties in really well with school curriculums and things like that. But then we also get to actually plant the seeds and then take them out into the community. So Bramble Park is a great example of that, where we'll be doing some plantings in the fall to replace the invasive species that we've been taking out over the past couple of years. So it's a really cool setup that we have, and we're really excited to be continuing the work that we've been doing in Madisonville for the past couple of years. So yeah, and again, feel free, stop by on Saturday or check out our website, and we have contact on there. I could literally talk all day about ripping out honeysuckle and planting native trees. So again, I don't want to eat up too much of your time.
No, we appreciate it, Alan. If you would send me the information for the open house, I'll have Amanda share that on our social media page as well.
Awesome. Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. Well, wonderful. Welcome to Madisonville. Great to have you, and thanks for joining us this evening.
Cheers. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Amanda, were there any questions online? Okay. All right. With that, we're going to move on to our second piece of new business. This evening, we've got Mr. BJ Kim from Red Sesame. He's going to be joining us to present his request for Red Sesame. So BJ, whenever you're ready, I've also got the plans up. So if you'd like for me to share those, I'll be happy to get those up for you as well.
Hi everyone. Again, my name is BJ. I did the last MCC meeting. I just a brief presentation, but I just gonna go over some stuff, the updates, what's going on with my projects. And I own a property on the 4804 Westfield Avenue, and is currently vacant. And as I mentioned last time, I just came across this building back in 2015, and when I saw this building, I loved it, and it was like first sight love kind of thing. And not knowing all the stress I've gone through, but yeah, I was super very excited because it was like my first property in America, and perfect place for I saw it. I was picturing a perfect place for a restaurant, and then my home, upstairs. So right now, and what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to change zoning so that I could have a restaurant on the ground floor and living on the second floor myself. And the current zoning is the T4, which allows the business but not restaurants. But the zoning that I'm working on is a T5, which allows restaurants. So I've been working on this project for 5 years on and off, but there's been ups and downs and stress I've been going through. But I started at one point. I started actually. When I purchased the building, I started on construction. Back in 2015, but I had to put a pause on it because something happened during the construction, and so hopefully things will be looking up in a good way, positive way. So currently, I'm in the process of vetting general contractors for construction, and while my architect is finalizing a drawing, and hopefully we can start a zoning change process once I get the support from the community and start the construction. And last time, and as some of you expressed the concern about my building might be misused like down the road, like 5, 10, 20 years later, but I can tell this again, this would be my dream kind of place, having a restaurant and then me living at the same place, upstairs. So I can guarantee really what's going on, what's going to happen, I can guarantee what's going to happen 10, 20 years from now. But all I know is I don't have any intention selling this building, my building, at least for a long time, okay? And I'm putting all my entire savings for this project. So if I had any ill intention, I would put everything, I would put everything to this, this building, this project. And so, I'm like, my intention is genuine, and like, I believe my concept will add diversity and unique, like, experience uniqueness just in Madisonville. And I'm really looking forward to like growing with this, in Madisonville, this beautiful community. Just like I said, just this is gonna be, my dream place, So yeah.
All right, BJ, I'm going to go ahead and share a Google photo of the building that we're talking about. We had a couple people ask questions, what building is this? I'm going to go ahead and share the Google photo and then share the plan so that everyone can see your plans for the building.
Sure.
Okay. Okay. And then you can talk to that. So bear with me, I'm sharing the screen. So this is the existing building. And then BJ, if you want to go ahead and talk through your plan.
This is a site plan, and well, with like obviously everyone, So this site plan, and what I'm trying to do is, and this is I'm thinking this is just shows the entire building, and the property that belongs to the address, and I'm gonna leave this ground floor as a white box. Okay, so we still have all major work, plumbing, electric, setup, and but I'm not gonna start inside the restaurant immediately. And since with all the corona virus, and I don't want to really take a chance. So and what I'm gonna do is there's a lawn right next to the building, and I'm gonna start outdoor the setting first, but then we're gonna set up all some stuff inside first on the ground floor. So, and then half of this, the majority of the backyards and will be used by just for myself. And yeah, so do you have any questions? I don't know if I really.
I'm going to go ahead and go to the next screen. Oh, not that fast.
Yes, this is okay. This is better.
All right, so this is first floor, correct?
Yes, that's yeah. This it's not finalized yet, but this is yeah. It's gonna be very close to like this. So you see in the back here, we're gonna have this all the plumbings in the back, and then the I don't know about hood, but we're gonna set up all the probably like grease traps and all those kind of stuff and set up. So we can ready to go once they have zoning changed, and then we're not gonna have this dining place open immediately. And then second floor is for myself and my cousin, and then the attic is gonna be also a space for myself. As the attic is actually big enough to have bedroom and bathroom. So I'm gonna use the half of this the second floor and then add it together, and then the other half my cousin's gonna use. That's my plan.
Okay. And these will all be shared online as well?
Yes, this is a utility survey, and then I'm thinking to have and my property is all we start from Westall. This almost it looks like a driveway goes down to the other side of the streets. And I'm thinking to that with groceries. That's I'm thinking to have I'm gonna have this the garage in here. I don't know if you can the garage in here, the back, mm-hmm. And I'm gonna have that one probably knocked down and then. Put it on garden for myself, okay. And then plants and vegetable kind of stuff in the back, and then either I use this driveway. This is driveway actually wide enough to have either a parking space or the extension of a garden.
Okay. I'm gonna go back up to the first so everybody can see.
You know,
There we go. This is the drive that you're talking about that
yes.
goes all the way toward.
Yeah. And then you see like here, yeah, right there where the cursor is. Yeah, that's the right now garage. Like they can hold the 5-6 cars, and then but I'm gonna probably have that demolished and then just set up a garden.
Okay.
But I'm interested. It can be like modified, little bits. All depends on the zoning, problem.
I'm going to stop sharing here for just a moment. Check to see if we have any questions at this time. Amanda, are there any questions online? All right, so the request is to go from, what BJ is asking for is to go from a T4 to a T5, and make sure I'm saying this correctly, zone change from a T4 to a T5N.SS-O. I am going to, with your permission, BJ, I'm actually going to bring Alicia Chamberlain on to explain the difference between the two.
Okay.
So that everybody fully understands what those differences are. So stand by just in case anybody has any additional questions. I'm going to switch over to Alicia for just a moment. Unmute yourself. Try again.
Hear me?
Now I can hear you.
Okay, I couldn't hear you. Why am I talking? You're muted.
Difference between the T4 and the T5O, just so we're all on the same page as to why the request for the zone change. You're a zone expert today.
Okay, well, I was not aware I was going to be answering this question today, so I don't have any in front of me, and I apologize. I do know that the zoning that BJ is requesting is what's going to allow for him to have a restaurant, whereas right now he can't above. I think that there are some other things that are allowable through that zone and that transect, but it sounds like Mr. Kim plans to be a long-term community member in that location. That's what I have without having it in front of me, and I do apologize for not knowing that I was going to be answering that question.
That's okay. This is why I put people on the spot. I'm actually going to share my screen, and we can actually share the form-based code with everyone as well, so that they can actually see the difference. And I would also like to remind people that when the quality of life plan was done, one of the things that I kept hearing over and over again from people that participated was they wanted to bring back that option of having retail and restaurants on first floors and literally having the owners living up above, and being a part of the community and supporting small business. What you're seeing on my screen right now is, scroll up, this is the request, is the neighborhood small setback. It is T5. This allows for a more diverse mix of uses, as Alicia said. It allows for the restaurant. The current zone that he's in allows for retail only. If you have not had Red Sesame, I highly recommend that you do.
We do have a few questions.
Yep, and with that, I'm going to stop sharing my screen for just a moment, and let's take a look at these questions that we've got. The first question is why isn't the T5 Flex being considered? And has the planning department advised of the best course of action? Planning department has actually advised of the zone change to a T5O, not the T5 Flex, if I'm understanding that correctly from zoning. I'm actually pulling up here, scrolling through, pulling up the T5 Flex so we can see the difference. Amanda, while I'm pulling that up, are there any questions online?
Nope, nothing on Facebook.
Bear with me here just a moment. And without being a zoning and planning expert, somebody actually has a question. Can we feature more dogs in these remote meetings? I absolutely agree, Carrie. We've actually got a comment. Welcome to the neighborhood. We need more restaurants. I absolutely agree. The difference, and I will say the difference is, the biggest difference, you're right, is the 4 stories, and the T5 is actually up to 5 stories. Having heard several times from Mr. Kim, his plan is to keep the building as is, to rehab it, and just going over the zoning code, the difference between that major difference between the T5 Flex and the T5 O, which he's looking for, is the residential piece. And as we've heard from Mr. Kim, he is looking to live here for the long term and bring an additional resident to Madisonville, which is outstanding.
Yep.
Let me check to see if there are any other hands raised or any other questions. I do not see any other hands raised. Any other questions online, Amanda? Alrighty, if I could go ahead and, Amanda, you get to make a motion. If somebody would like to make a motion to provide a letter of support for the zone change for 4804 Wetzel from a T4 to a T5 NSS-O. If you have an option to raise your hand on your Zoom, if somebody would like to raise their hand to make a motion. Thank you, Charlie. Would somebody like to, thank you, Melissa, for seconding, and Wellen for seconding. We'll open up for any further discussion, if there's any further discussion or any further questions. If there are no further questions or further discussion, I'm going to go ahead and launch the poll in your Zoom. You're going to see a poll for the zone change. And we'll keep that open for 2 minutes. While we are voting, thank you, Mr. Kim. While we are voting, I'm going to throw, Ms. Knox joined us. I'm going to open up the floor to her while we're voting to see if there's any additional information she'd like to share this evening for John P. Parker School.
Good evening, Madisonville.
Good evening, Ms. Knox.
How are you? I thank you for allowing me to take a moment as you are voting to share with you that we have had for the past week listening sessions. We are talking to our families, parents, and caregivers surrounding remote learning. So we know that we are all relearning, and we've been gathering information so that the next time, if there is a next time, we won't be scrambling. We'll understand what parents need to support their parents and to stay very consistent. And that is very important to the learning that has to happen for our children. So we're excited that we were able to gather that information. Cincinnati Public Schools is also offering 22 pounds of produce every Thursday at the Iowa Street location. I will submit a flyer to Kate, and she can push it out to the community. We are still offering meals on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays from 11 to noon. I think that's about all I have.
All right, thank you, Ms. Knox. I appreciate it. All right, last call for voting. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and end the poll. BJ, your request for a letter of support passes in favor. There were 15 in favor, 1 against, and 1 abstention. I will get you that letter here within the next couple of days. Congratulations. We look forward to the renovations and the loud noise and the opening of your brick and mortar here soon. So
Thank you. We appreciate your support. And well, I mean, I've been working again. Thank you. I've been working on this project for 5 years, and I can't really leave this place in its vacant. Again, I'm really looking forward to growing, with this beautiful community and Madisonville. Looking forward to it.
awesome. Well, wonderful. We're glad to have you. So thank you for joining us this evening.
Thank you.
All right, with that, are there any announcements? Does anybody have any announcements this evening that they would like to share? There's one hand raised. Wait, where'd it go? Nope, there is not a hand raised. David,
Hey.
you had an announcement? Go ahead.
I pushed back to you this week a flyer from Cincinnati Recycling that's taking place on Saturday at the Academy of World Languages on Fairfax Avenue. It was a flyer. I saw it on Outdoor or Next Door, and when I went to click a copy of it, my printer picked up everyone who ever forwarded it, so it printed out 27 copies of that particular flyer. So this week, I took all those extra copies and distributed them to all the people in my neighborhood. But from 12 to 3 at the Academy of World Languages, they are taking things like toothpaste, toothbrushes, toothpaste tubes, dental floss, skincare plastic tubes, light bulbs, plastic containers cleaned with no lids, chip and snack bags that are empty and dry, empty prescription bottles, the plastic pieces that the pop cans come in, any cell phone chargers, small electronics, styrofoam containers, batteries, plastic planters and flats, empty and no dirt. It's being sponsored by Cincinnati Beautiful, Cincinnati Recycles, ECO, Clean Lights, Kroger's, Home Depot, Ryan Geis, just a number. And I was hoping you got that flyer, but I did send it back to you as a message to the president. So I don't know whether, obviously you don't have that.
No, not only did we have it, we actually shared it on social media as well.
Good.
It's scheduled to be posted tomorrow morning.
Good. Thank you.
And I think I'm sharing my screen where everybody can see it right now as well. Yes. So yes, we did receive it. I actually have a bunch of stuff I'm going to be dropping off. So thank you, yes, for sharing that. We appreciate it. Were there any other general announcements or any other questions this evening? Amanda, anything online?
No.
All right, with that, we are going to go ahead and adjourn the meeting. Thank you everyone for joining us. We will see you next month. Our next meeting is going to be July the 16th. Due to social distancing and COVID, the expectation is we'll be doing it online again next month. Should anything change, we will let you know. Until then, enjoy the rest of your evening and enjoy the rest of the week, and we'll see you all soon. Thank you for joining us this evening.
Thanks, guys.